shouted for help.
Ela vem sentada.
What if Subaru never called for guards during Elsa's attack? Without Reinhard's rescue, Subaru dies over and over again, each death more brutal than the last. Broken by the pain, he falls into darkness and joins the witch's cult, becoming the Sin Archbishop of Pride. Obsessed with making Emilia queen, Subaru manipulates events, humiliates Reinhard, and tears down the Sin Archbishops one by one. In the end, he succeeds. Emilia becomes queen, but at a terrible cost. The capital burns, his friends are lost, and Subaru is consumed by his own darkness. His story ends not with return by death, but with a final permanent death claimed by the Witch of Envy.
So continuing off my last video, how did Subaru win against Reinhard when he's so broken and Subaru is so weak? So in the Pride route, Subaru never gets the humility like he does in the main route, and he uses his return by death in a really ruthless manner to himself and everyone else. Throughout the story, he's not scared of using horrific acts of violence and manipulation to achieve his goal. And that goal is to put Emilia on the throne of Lugunica. To be honest, I can make a bunch of videos covering what he does in the Pride route if you guys want, but this video will be focusing on him versus Reinhard. So towards the end of the Pride route, in Subaru's final confrontation with Reinhard, Subaru revealed he used Return by Death 100,000 times in a quest to try to kill Reinhard. And what he found out was no matter what he did, Reinhard was impossible to kill. So he changed his strategy. Instead of trying to kill Reinhard directly, what he did was to destroy Reinhard's symbol of being the hero. To Subaru, Reinhard basically represents the ideal role of a hero archetype with his unwavering strength and moral compass. And this is what Subaru deeply envies about Reinhard. This is the reason why he got so obsessed with defeating Reinhard in the first place. And this envy goes all the way to the start of the Pride story, where he saw Reinhard effortlessly defeat Elsa when Subaru himself spent hundreds of loops trying to defeat her but couldn't. So to defeat Reinhard, what Subaru did was destroy everything Reinhard stood for, and this meant all of Lugunica and everyone that Reinhard cared about. Subaru worked with the witch cult to try to destroy the entire country, and in the final fight with Reinhard, he managed not to just burn the capital, but the entire country itself. And Subaru noted that this was the first time he has ever seen Reinhard show the emotion of hate. In the Pride of story, Reinhard is confronted with the reality that his power and heroism is not enough to stop Subaru. His absolute power does not compare to Subaru's determination to defeat him.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy, and silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving
Senta no estado, dali. Tapi kalau ketemu doi di kemana belaga baik, belaga nyapa tapi nyalinya sih gak seberapa. Yo, buat orang gitu, gue sih jangan bisa ngomong. Mari sini bertemu, saya leher membanding-banding,
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection.
What if Subaru chose Rathin Rezero? In the Wrath If route, Subaru's desire for revenge consumes him. He lashes out at everyone, even innocents, becoming the leader of the Pleiades Mafia. But as his obsession grows, so does his emptiness. His relationships crumble. Emilia loses all color in his eyes, and only Ram acknowledges him, driven by her hatred. As the Purge King, finds no purpose, only endless suffering. In the end, he allows Ram to kill him, realizing all the bloodshed was meaningless.
Let's talk about the Rezero route where Subaru became the Purge King, killing 126,000 people. The Purge King is one of the most mentally broken versions of Subaru we have. In this route, Subaru started a criminal organization called Pleiades, which quickly rose to become one of the most powerful organizations in the world. Subaru even managed to recruit the second and third strongest people in Rezero to his organization. This being Cecilus, one of the divine generals of the Valachian Empire, and Halibil, the strongest ninja in Rezero. This organization was so strong the Kingdom of Lugunica basically declared war on them, sending Reinhard. And in this conflict, Reinhard almost died, but that's for another video. In this route, Subaru was so cruel he'd often decide the fate of people from a coin flip. So how does Subaru end up this way? So this route diverges at the end of episode 7 of the anime, which is when Ram was trying to kill Subaru after Rem's death from the curse. Beatrice offered her protection to Subaru from Ram. In the main route, Subaru refused her help and decided to jump off the cliff so he can return by death, which would allow him to continue looping till he saved everyone in the mansion. But Subaru in the Wrath If didn't jump off the cliff and actually accepted Beatrice's offer to protect him. Even with Beatrice teleporting Subaru away to protect him, Ram still finds Subaru. So with Subaru being so weak and exhausted, Ram catches Subaru and starts to strangle him to death. However, luckily for Subaru, in the middle of all this, Ram collapses. Because while chasing Subaru, she ran into a lot of mobbies, which brought her to the brink of death from her injuries. So Subaru grabs a rock and starts smashing her face in. This is where the Rezero Wrath story truly begins, and the story gets a flash forward to current Subaru. So what happened in the battle between the Purge King Natsuki Subaru versus Reinhard? There's a blinding light in the middle of the reception hall in Subaru's castle called Pandemonium. 18 of Subaru's men were obliterated and the structure of the building started to collapse. The Kingdom of Lugunica sent Reinhard and a legion of knights to take down Subaru's organization. So after the blinding light and the dust clears, Reinhard Vanastrias shows up in the middle of the throne room in Subaru's castle. But Reinhard notices that Subaru is still on his throne despite the attack. The Purge King Subaru tells Reinhard that he's already seen this attack before back at the capital, and that he's made preparations for it just in case Reinhard and Lugunica attack him. And this is when Reinhard first figures out who the Purge King is. So then Subaru and Hannibal escape and leave Cecilus to fight Reinhard. In my last video I mentioned how Cecilus was one of the divine generals of the Vlachian Empire, and that he's one of the strongest people in Rezero. So the battle between Cecilus and Reinhard sends tremors throughout the entire castle, which destroys a door on Amelia's prison where Subaru was keeping her. Amelia escapes and runs through the castle looking for Subaru, but instead runs into Reinhard, who's severely wounded after his battle with Cecilus. Reinhard tells Amelia to leave with him, and there's dragon carriages outside waiting to take her back to the capital. But Amelia says no and that she wants to stay with Subaru. While Reinhard was begging Amelia to leave with him, a sword of ice pierced through his stomach. Reinhard was shocked because he had divine protections that were supposed to block such attacks. However, Amelia attacked Reinhard unconsciously, meaning that his divine protections couldn't detect her attack. And she slowly started to understand that the reason why she did this was because Reinhard was a threat to Subaru's existence. Her unconscious mind was attempting to protect Subaru. Reinhard then reveals to Amelia that Subaru has killed 126,000 people. Amelia was shocked, but her decision to stay with Subaru didn't change. She summoned Puck and both of them faced off against Reinhard. So during this time when Subaru is running away with Hannibal, Frederica, who Subaru kidnapped and turned into a maid for the organization, attacked Subaru but was easily dealt with by Hannibal. Subaru spares her life despite the attack, and even tells Hannibal to leave him and run, because it was clear to Subaru that the time of the Purge King and Pleiades was over. After Hannibal leaves, Subaru keeps running by himself, but eventually Amelia finds him. Amelia runs up to Subaru and hugs him, begging him to run away with her, and explained that she initially hated Subaru because of what he did to her and others as the Purge King, but now none of that matters and she forgives him. This made Subaru distrust Amelia, causing her figure to lose color in Subaru's vision. To Subaru, what he's done as a Purge King is considered unforgivable. Subaru believes that it's impossible to forgive him for all the horrible things he's done. Subaru shoves Amelia across the room and calls her a liar. Seeing Amelia lose her color makes Subaru scream in agony and fear. The entire world for Subaru Subaru is colored in black and white because he considers everything in the world a lie. The only people in the entire world who showed any color were Beatrice, who Subaru already killed, and Amelia before she started to lose her own color. However, there's still one other person besides Amelia and Beatrice. In a desperate attempt to see some color, Subaru runs away from Amelia and runs to his secret room in his office. Within the secret room, there's a girl with pink hair. Ram looks up at Subaru and says, "Are you ready to die, Barisu?" With hatred in her eyes, she grabs Subaru's neck. And that's the end of the Wrath route for Rezero.
Fun fact about Rezero series. Did you know that the gluttony route is the darkest what-if story in Rezero? In Arc 6, Subaru suffers from amnesia caused by the Sin Archbishop of Gluttony. He becomes desperate to know who he really is, as his memory from this world was completely erased. To reignite his memories, he chooses the worst method. Subaru decides to kill everyone who knows him so that he can regain his memories through the Book of Death, which contains the history of the soul's life. With each murder, Subaru slowly begins to regain his memories by learning from the Book of Death of his closest ones. He becomes a mass murderer. His hair turns white, one of his eyes goes blind, and he loses sanity. He continues to kill relentlessly, driven by his obsession for answers and the restoration of his memories. Additionally, Subaru frequently experiences hallucinations and delusions, conversing with his friends who are already gone by his own hands, and asking them to assist him. Subaru is accompanied by Shala, who assists him in killing his closest companions. He keeps patching himself together, patching together, patching together, patching together, until he is complete.
Is that you? Subaru. There's no mistake. That's Subaru Natsuki. You can call me by that name if that's what you want. But it means nothing to me.
Natsuki Subaru destroyed a city of over 200,000 people just to kill Otto. So basically in Arc 6 of Rezero, Natsuki Subaru loses all his memories. And in this moment there's two routes Natsuki Subaru takes to get back his memories. The gluttony route follows Natsuki Subaru, who decides to kill everyone who used to know him. Then he would read their books of the dead, which allows him to relive their life's memories, and through this slowly reconstruct the old Subaru. However, this method completely shattered Subaru's mind. All the people Subaru killed turned into apparitions that only Subaru could see and followed him around. And they would converse with Subaru as if they were normal. Since all of these apparitions in Subaru's mind had their memories, he was basically able to ask them to help him plan on what to do next. Later in the route, when Subaru manipulates everyone alive to gather in Pristella, then proceeds to flood the entire city, Otto confronts Subaru and tells Subaru that he made a mistake by not using this opportunity to deal with Reinhard, which then Subaru corrects Otto and tells him the most problematic person isn't Reinhard, it's actually Otto himself. Subaru reaffirms himself by asking the apparitions of everyone around him, who all agreed that yes, Otto is the most dangerous person, and that everything done in Priscilla was just to kill him. Otto is of course confused who Subaru is talking to, but his confusion doesn't last for long since he's promptly killed by Shala.
Me and the devil walking side by side.
The dragon has 3 heads. One to be a murderer who will unleash death. One to be a monarch whose crown will weigh heavy. And one to be mad whose ideas will change history.
You know I got a lot to say.
pra 17, toda princesa, pra 17, tudo Did you know that in Rezero, there is a what-if scenario where Subaru gets trapped by the depravity of his lust, and in typical isekai fashion, he builds, well, this. You know that guy Regulus, who almost has 300 wives? Well, yeah, Subaru got his Sharingan and copied his playbook. Anyways, the nature of the lust route is literally just Subaru, now the current king, going through his day and hooking up with his many wives. And unsurprisingly, a lot of people have issues with this route, not because of the degeneracy, but it kinda goes against the whole premise of the canon events of this story. I mean, the notion of Rezero is the fact that Emilia and all these other women are vying for the throne for their own personal objectives. So the fact that Subaru ends up as the king and he pulls every girl in the series is by definition outlandish.
It should have been me!
But with that being said, if Subaru used Return by Death enough times and treated his ability like a restart function in a dating sim, then eventually this could work. But it's still super wacky.
Did you know the author Rezero once wrote a what-if story where Subaru was very happy, but he deleted it? So this what-if route is where Subaru marries all 5 royal candidates, but despite Subaru being happier in this route more than any other, bro deserves to suffer. Let me explain. So since Subaru married all the royal candidates, he became king of Lugunica. He starts trying to bring about technology from Earth to the Rezero world, such as lighters. He is a good king and he does have help with paperwork when needed. When he's busy, surprisingly Ram helps him out, and somehow she even does a great job. Despite having 5 girls though, Subaru wasn't satisfied and he even got Ram pregnant. Here's the problem. Subaru belongs in prison. Bro makes out with a young girl like Felt, and he even flirts with Petra? Now I don't feel so bad whenever Subaru suffers. Also, y'all call Echidna evil despite her offering perfectly good tea, but the real evil all along is the main character.
If I could be anybody, dead or alive, I would wanna be my dad in 1985. said I need no, I can't move at all. I curse the man, the one behind it all. It's cold, I'm coming up the moon and sleeping in the middle of a summer afternoon. It's cold, whatever did we do to make you take our world away? It's cold, are we a player alone? Or are we just a stepping stone for taking back the throne? It's cold, we won't take it anymore, so take a tyranny away.
It's embarrassing to say, but we could have a baby. The child would be half demon and half human, so I'm sure it would be feisty. But I know that they would be completely adorable, whether we ended up with a boy, a girl, twins, or even triplets.
I see you at the movies. I see you with your lipstick on. I'm looking out for cosmos. I'm hoping that we'll get along.
So just get anybody, dead or alive. I would wanna be my dad in 1985. My dad, 1985. My father, 1985.
In the Rem-If route, Subaru gives up on the battles and escapes with Rem, choosing a life of peace. They marry, start a family, and live a quiet, happy life. But without Subaru, what happens to the kingdom? Without Subaru's help, the witch cult remains unchecked. Emilia faces her struggles alone. Lugnica may fall into chaos. But Subaru and Rem, they're far away, blissfully unaware. A perfect ending for them, but a tragic one for everyone else.
There's a chance that the sloth, if and Natsuki Subaru, could be one of the most tragic versions of him we have. And this is because what the author said in his Q&As. So basically what happens in the sloth if route is that Rem says yes to when Subaru asked her to run away. And then both of them run away and start a family in a different country, which most likely led to the death of most people in the Emilia camp. But the reason why it's tragic for Subaru is not that. It's actually because when the author was asked, If Subaru had a return by death checkpoint in the sloth if route after it diverges from the main route, the author said, no, there isn't one. And then the author also says that if Subaru does not fulfill the goal of the person who's making him return by death, which us readers assume it's Satella or the Witch of Envy, before he dies of old age, he will probably return. This means if Subaru somehow dies in this route, whether it be from old age or something else, his entire family will be erased from existence, and Subaru will be sent all the way back to the Appa Man in Arc 3.
Have all the characteristics of a human being. Flesh, blood, skin, hair. But not a single clear, identifiable emotion. Except for greed and disgust.
Truly, every life, all the passion in my heart. This might be close to love. Yes, it's a vow of love. And how will you respond to that love?
契約を僕と交わしてはくれないだろうか、夏木スバル。
A dream. I saw a dream. A dream that wouldn't end. Over and over again, I repeated and corrected every mistake. But before I knew it, I lost count.
Keyaku 僕と交わしてはくれないだろうか、夏木スバル。
What if Subaru accepted Echidna's contract in Rezero? What would really happen? Echidna offered Subaru knowledge and power to help him overcome his challenges. But there was a hidden cost. Under the contract, Subaru would gain access to her vast knowledge, but in return he'd become a pawn in her endless thirst for learning, dying over and over again just so she could experiment and gather more information. And slowly, Subaru would lose his humanity, his love, and his connections, all in the name of knowledge. Is that a price worth paying?
So how did Subaru die 100 million times in the Rezero Greed If route? So the Greed route diverges from the main route that you see in the anime in Arc 4. In this route, Subaru accepts the Witch of Greed's contract. By forming the contract with Echidna, he is able to save the sanctuary, pass the trials, and protect everyone he cares about. However, this comes at a very steep price. After dying 100 million times and losing his fear of death, he becomes a completely different person. Subaru never learns to value his own life like he does in Arc 4. Instead, he'd use return by death over the smallest things in hopes to find his perfect ending. The misery does not stop with just Subaru. Subaru forced Beatrice to abandon the Forbidden Library and break her contract, which she spent her entire life upholding. This caused her to lose her reason to continue living. This left Beatrice completely broken with no will to live, sobbing every day. Even when Subaru tries to comfort her by giving her a hug, she would claw his neck, drawing blood. Even Amelia in this route is completely broken, because what she saw in the trials brought back traumatic memories that haunt her every day. And since Subaru took the trials for her, she was never able to overcome her past. This made Amelia completely reliant and obsessed with Subaru, so when she saw the scratch marks that Beatrice left on Subaru's neck, she went absolutely crazy and wanted to kill Beatrice, but Subaru was thankfully able to calm her down before he had to use return by death. And this version of Subaru is not afraid of manipulating the people around him. For example, he manipulates Fels to drop out of the royal selection and abandon Reinhard, and then gets Reinhard to join the Amelia camp. However, Reinhard's never the same after Felt abandoned him. He forced Garfield into abandoning the sanctuary, resulting in him becoming unstable, because he's never able to face his past trauma. There's a lot more that happens in this route because this route is over 300 pages long, like Otto abandoning Subaru, or Subaru hiring Elsa to help him trigger return by death. And this is only the surface of the Greed route, so if you want me to make more videos on this route and other routes, tell me in the comments.
A dream. I saw a dream. A dream that wouldn't end. Over and over again, I repeated and corrected every mistake. But before I knew it, I lost count. I died over 100 million times. And yet there was still a place I wanted to reach. A wish I wanted to protect. No matter what, I had to save everyone. And that's why I took her hand.
What's a hero to you anyway? An average level 0 like me? Do I really look like I'm that big of a deal to anyone? Good guys, bad guys, come on, grow up! Are you saying that in order to help someone, you have to meet specific qualifications? If someone you know is crying and you wish they weren't, or if someone struggling to hold on needs help, but doesn't have the strength to ask, isn't that reason enough?